Hey everyone, I'm Dave, and today we're making the world's best pizza rolls. Well, at least according to Google. I don't know if these are really gonna be the world's best. They're definitely different than what I've made in the past because I have made pizza rolls at home before, and they did not look like this at all. Also, well, let me Google it first and show you what I mean. So on this channel, we always Google world's best recipes, and you'll see our #1 result we get comes from makeyourmeals.com. And it doesn't have a ton of reviews, and it really just looks like a glorified crescent roll. I have made my own pizza rolls before in like an egg roll wrapper and deep fried it, and it's amazing. That's not this recipe. We'll do that in a future video. This might be better. When I look up world's best pizza rolls, this is the recipe that comes up. So we're gonna assume this is a world's best. Google wouldn't steer us wrong, right? This actually looks like a very easy recipe and a very cheap recipe. So even if it's not the world's best, it seems to have quite a bit of merit regardless. So first of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some pepperoni, which is what I have here. Now it says you can do the pepperoni, it's sweating a little because it's hot out. And yes, of course pepperoni can sweat. It says you have two options. You can either use whole pepperoni or you can dice the pepperoni. We're gonna go ahead and dice it so that it's easier to work with, because in the instructions, it says that if you dice it, it's a little easier to work with. That's what we're gonna do. Or chop it. Let's say we're gonna chop it. Now I'm not gonna stress it too much because like I said, it technically said you don't need to chop it at all. So I'm just gonna get it kind of chopped up like that, and we're gonna call that good enough. And set that over to the side. And I just washed down my counter here so we could actually work the dough right on the counter. Now what it says we wanna do is we wanna take 2 tubes, which I've never really used. I think I've used these once before in my life. These Pillsbury pizza crusts, see them? Well, what it says is we want to take 2 tubes of that and some flour and throw the flour on our counter here, our nicely cleaned counter, like so. And then we open up this pizza dough, and yes, I have flour all over my hands now. Whatever, we'll see. Pop it open, and then I guess just lay it flat. I don't know how much like rolling or whatever needs to be done. Let me look, it says preheat your oven to 425, which I have not done yet. Let me go do that. Then it says dust a large surface of flour and roll out each pizza crust. So let me get the other one too. Oh no, they're putting their music back on. I've been trying to record this all day, but my neighbors keep partying over there or something. They keep cranking up really loud music and it's driving me insane. You can probably hear them now. All right, so we take our 2 really large pizza crusts, we roll them out like it says to. Hopefully the music doesn't come in, and I think they're drinking a lot too. If I had to be honest, they sound kind of drunk. I'm almost to the point where I think our neighbors are now Airbnb, like, and not the permanent neighbors, because it's always different people over there. But it says to roll it out. Now I don't really know what that means because it's already kind of flat, but I'm just gonna make it a little thinner, I guess. Uh-oh, come on, dough. Don't dough me wrong. That was a really cheesy dad joke, by the way. Don't dough me wrong. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to make it a little bit bigger, I guess. It doesn't give very specific instructions. It just says roll it out. Normally you'd expect it to say to 1 inch or something along those lines. This just says roll out each pizza crust. Sprinkle garlic salt, seasoning. This is all to taste too. I don't think it has a measurement. Yeah, garlic salt seasoning and a small amount of marinara sauce. So let me see, let me get like a spoon and just do, it says a tiny amount of marinara sauce. So is that tiny enough? That's pretty tiny. Let's do a little more. I'm not gonna try to combine them. I was tempted to combine them into one big thing, but I think that's a mistake. I think I'd regret that. See guys, most cooking shows wouldn't share their frustration with their next door neighbors like I would. This is a unique cooking show where, you know, the cook isn't actually that good at cooking. And instead it's mostly about his neighbors being slightly annoying. Okay, so this is Italian seasoning. I'm just gonna sprinkle that on there. To taste, it says. I don't know what that means, but I mean, we're about to have the world's best pizza rolls. This to me is more like a, I don't know, I just don't know if I'd consider this a pizza roll, but this is what Google tells us, so we're going with it. Then take some garlic salt, that's our next thing, and sprinkle that on there. Garlic salt like so, that's probably enough. And then what? Add mozzarella and Parmesan cheese and diced pepperoni. It says 1 cup of mozzarella. This is so easy. I mean, this is the easiest recipe we're ever gonna do. Hey, you know what? It's good. It'll be the quickest video ever, which is good because I've been delayed like 9 times today. So, so if it's a cup of mozzarella, I'd say it's a half a cup for this one and then a half a cup for the other one. And I'm just gonna do them one at a time. So sprinkle, they're swimming now. So there's our half cup of mozzarella, just sprinkled across it. That's not very much, but that's what it says. And then a half a cup of pepperoni. Here's our half cup of pepperoni. Also just sprinkle it around on here, like so. I mean, honestly, sometimes the simple things are the best when it comes to food. I mean, it's like, I like some really mediocre food, so I guess I'm not one to listen to, but this is Certainly not a complex recipe, but hey, maybe it'll give you an idea of something super easy that you can make, maybe with ingredients that are already sitting in your house. So that would be a win, I would say. And it's cheap. Right now, everything's expensive. I'm finally introducing a cheap meal. I feel like there just needs to be a little more cheese over here, but I think it'll be okay. There we go. That looks pretty good. Maybe a little more pepperoni here. We're kind of eyeballing this, guys. I mean, the recipe basically says to. This is gonna be a pizza roll. I know you're questioning it, but just trust. Oh, it also says to add Parmesan. Now, when it says Parmesan, I guess you could do grated or shredded. I do actually have some real Parmesan that I could use. It says like a half a cup, so I'm just gonna make sure everything has some Parmesan on it. Probably a quarter cup worth on this one. Yeah, there's a pretty good dusting there. And then we're supposed to roll it, but it says roll it from the short end. And the way I've done this, there really is no short end, so we're just gonna do this. So we're gonna like pretend it's a sleeping bag and just start rolling it. Who's that, Fred Durst? Rolling, 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 rolling. Listen, even though this is so cheesy, and I'm telling you, we'll do the other recipe too, the one I've cooked before, that's like really, really good. We'll do that one on this channel too, so make sure you subscribe. And that one I promise is delicious. And not this simple. It's actually gonna be adding some sort of value. I don't know if I'm adding any value with a recipe this easy, but you know what? It's been a while since I've recorded a cooking video. This is a good way to break myself back into the mood because I have been traveling and I'm just gonna use what I've learned when making things like cinnamon buns, which I've done before, and assume that I cut off these ends that are uneven, and then this becomes our actual pizza roll. How's it look? Does it look like a pizza roll? I think it does. Here, check it out. It's a pizza roll. It's a roll of pizza. Okay, so we want to take a cookie sheet and lightly grease it, you know, with like Pam or something. There you go, lightly greased. That way stuff will come off of it. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut 1-inch slices. Is that about 1 inch? With a serrated knife. So this is a bread knife. And then pop it on the pan like so. Now I think you could probably have license to do whatever you want with this. Oh, that one came unrolled. You could do more pepperoni, more cheese, more marinara, less of each, whatever you prefer. Like I said, the recipe said the marinara was completely optional, but it does recommend that you have some marinara to dip it into once it's done cooking. So basically what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut this all up like so, and then it goes into the oven at 425. And I'm telling you, this is the easiest recipe we're doing on this channel probably ever. Here's what happened. I went to the store with my daughter and I said, hey, do you wanna come to the store with me? I need to figure out a good cooking video to make, like a world's best recipe. And she's like, you should make pizza rolls. And I was like, okay, I can make pizza rolls. And then I get to the store and I look up the pizza roll recipe and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a simple recipe. Like, can I even make a video of how to make this? It's so simple. And then I sat there like trying to figure out what else I could do and then decided, you know what, we're just gonna do it because I was kind of hoping the recipe would come up that I've made before of pizza rolls because it's really good and I'd love to share it with you guys, but it didn't. So I figure, you know what, we'll just do this one and then I'll do mine, which I want to share with you in the next video. I think I'll just do it in the next video, why not? Okay, so here's our pizza rolls on our greased sheet. I'm gonna go into the oven at 10 to 12 minutes and while it cooks, I'm gonna prep this next one as well. I just made a floury mess all over myself. Oh well. So yeah, I'm gonna do this one too. And so what I'm thinking, based on what it said later in the instructions, is that it might have just wanted me to do it like this. Just roll it the long way and keep it nice and long like this to make extra like layers. This might be the correct way to do it, guys. You see what I've done here? Super long version of it. I think you can see it. Take a little sauce again and just spread it out. And then we'll just do that. Now I put the other one in there. Oh, I should set a timer. All right, my 10-minute timer is going. That would be not good if I forgot. I tried to cook bacon this morning. And because, now I prefer bacon cooked in a pan. I know a lot of people like it in the oven. I'll do the oven, but it's not my favorite. But this morning I was like in a rush. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna do the bacon in the oven while I work on all these other projects I have to do. And so I did that and I put the bacon on the pan and I never set a timer at all. And so I went about my business and then I opened the door to my house and I smelled just like burning bacon throughout the whole house and realized that I completely forgot to time my bacon and it was totally ruined. So definitely don't want that to happen with our pizza rolls, although we're gonna get a mulligan if we do because we got this second one that's already looking better. Sometimes you gotta think less and just do. That's what I'm doing with this one. Again, this is totally something you could make with the ingredients sitting in your house. Here we go. Now we're gonna throw a little Italian seasoning. That's way too much on my hand on here. Now you could totally heat up the marinara for your dipping sauce, or you could do it cold, whatever you prefer. A little garlic salt on there. Now we're putting some Parmesan cheese on it. So we basically did the same thing again. See, now I can do like a super long roll, pizza roll, and I'm sorry about the noise, I don't know. They're very loud. I guess they're having fun, and that's the important part, but certainly makes it hard to record a video. I guess this is a downside about putting my cooking area outside. So again, we're gonna roll this up like a little sleeping bag. This one's gonna be much, much fatter than the first one because of the way we did it. I'm not sure if it's gonna be better or not. And again, we'll cut off the edges and then 1-inch slices. This will be batch 2. You see it's got a lot more layers of dough. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but that is the way it is. I mean, I would say that if you're looking for like an insanely easy little snack, I don't know if this qualifies as a meal, then this totally would work, as it was very, very easy to make, very cheap, very fast. It's almost done already. But if you're looking for like an insane pizza roll, subscribe and check out my next video, because that one involves sausage and pepperoni and peppers and onions and deep frying, and it's incredible. Let me bring this in. Okay, I'm back, and I have the pizza rolls, which look a lot more like pizza biscuits or something, but they look pretty good, to be honest. And for the amount of time they cost, the amount of money, they might be worth it. Here's what they look like on the bottom and the top. Here, extreme close up. That's what they look like right there. It's very hot, it's burning my flesh. So I did get a plate, and I got a little bit of sauce. And I'm gonna dip it and I'm gonna try it. And we're gonna see if it really is the world's best pizza roll. Oh, it's hot. Cooked through pretty good. It's not doughy or anything. Let me try it with no sauce. Okay, so to be honest, they're actually pretty good. I mean, it's not anything to write a home about, but it's like eating a slice of pizza in an interesting form. So I have no real complaints. I mean, here's the only thing I'll say is I think you could get fancy. I think you could dice up some actual garlic and use it, and, you know, potentially just increase, maybe add a little sausage. You could add a little, more cheese or more variety of cheese. Definitely could do some more with it. It's a little bit kind of one note. Fine though. I mean, you can see it's cooked to perfection. No complaints at all. I think the big benefit of this is my kids would eat it. A lot of stuff I cook, my kids won't eat because like they have very basic tastes. They like pizza, they like chicken nuggets, they like fries. This would totally do it for them, and it's super cheap. So anyway, super quick video today. Make sure you subscribe. I'll show you the good pizza rolls in the next one. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Here's the bigger ones, guys. Hold on. See, these are the ones I did the second batch. They're quite a bit bigger. I don't think it's gonna make a significant difference in the flavor, but they definitely look a little bit different. They look a little bit, I don't know, more hearty, as it were. Here's the first batch, here's the second batch. I think the second batch looks better. The second batch also tastes a little better because it got more layers, just makes it a little bit better. So I would say do it like I did the second time, not the first time.